Susie Cobden here again. Life on planet Earth is a constant series of choices from the time we awaken each morning till the time our mind switches off at night. We are given opportunity after opportunity to make conscious decisions as to what's next. In every moment, there's a choice to be made. Quite often, we do that without even thinking. Our subconscious has so many experiences recorded in it that whenever we're doing something that we've done before, our subconscious will bring up those same beliefs, those same thoughts, and we'll operate our body to carry out whatever seems to be the next thing that we would normally do. Quite often, even our thoughts are from our subconscious mind. As soon as we're in a similar situation, our conscious mind draws thoughts from our subconscious, activates them out of habit, and consequently that's what our ego runs on. Our ego runs on all that recorded history. It's got nothing new to offer us. When we become aware, we are noticing a good portion of the time, if not all of the time, what we're thinking, what we're saying, what we're doing, and that allows us to make a conscious choice about the thoughts that we use. Instead of running on autopilot, we're choosing deliberately. Once we move into that place where we are choosing deliberately most of the time, then we can choose empowering thoughts. Instead of reacting when situations happen, we can respond. We can separate ourselves a little bit from it. We can look at it from different perspectives, and we can choose thoughts that feel empowering, not disempowering. Remember that if a thought feels good, then it's in alignment with our higher self and it's our truth. If a thought feels uncomfortable, then there's some aspect of that thought that's out of alignment. Now, it could be the thought itself, or it could be the way that we're perceiving that thought. For instance, if we went to do something and it brought up fear in us, then it might not be that thing that we were going to do that is wrong for us. It might be the way that we're thinking about that thing. You know, we might be perceiving scarcity or some sort of danger that may not be there. It might be simply something that we've put in our way through previous programming to protect us from something. And remember, change, as far as the mind is concerned, is dangerous because it doesn't know it. So not all change, of course, is dangerous. Most of it is expansive and will serve us very well. But when we come up against fear, if we're awake enough to recognize it and look at the alternatives and see where that fear is actually coming from, then we can make a logical choice. So it's very important to become aware of what you're doing, what you're thinking, what you're saying, and what you're feeling, and respond accordingly to find something that's empowering. When I was first learning to become aware, I actually put a hair tie, an elastic hair tie or a hairband around my arm. It could be just a simple elastic band, just around my wrist. And every time I noticed that I was thinking or saying something that wasn't serving me, I'd just give it a little flick. Now, I didn't do it to hurt myself. I didn't do it as punishment. I did it because that little flick on the wrist actually breaks the pattern. So instead of just going ahead and doing it and thinking it, that little break in the pattern by the flick on the wrist diverts your attention away from it and to your wrist, really, and it gives you space to think differently, and it starts to rewire the brain just by that little break in the pattern. So that's one simple way where you can start to break your patterns, break your automatic responses. Another way is to write things down. You know, I carried a card in my pocket for a little while, just a small card, but every time I had a negative thought, I had a yes side and a no side. So every time I had a negative thought, I'd put a tick on the no side every time I noticed. And, you know, every time I had a good, positive, supporting thought, I would put a tick on the other side. So at the end of the day, I'd look at it and say, oh, wow, you know, this is the tally. And of course, at first, a lot of those ticks were on the negative side, on the no side. But within a few days, just with the being conscious of adjusting my score, of becoming more positive than negative, and the elastic band on my wrist, I was able to turn that around. And within, I think it was less than 2 weeks, I was having very few negative thoughts. And I kept that up for 28 days because it takes about 28 days to reprogram something that's become a habit. So that's my little chat for today. Really, I urge you all to have a look at your programming, at your patterning, become aware of what you're thinking, what you're saying, what you're doing, what you're feeling, and take the first steps to turning that around. So my love to you all. I'll see you all on the next video. Bye-bye.